This week has been a good one. We won this past Saturday up at Hampton. Thank you very much. And it was kind of a tough deal, and we had played really good, we thought, the week before at home against Furman, and we had this great week of practice. And we get into this Hampton game, and we don't quite play as well as I had anticipated. Going to the half, we're down 3-0, and we moved the ball pretty good. And our quarterback, Darius Wallace, played okay, didn't play quite as good as he played against Furman, but we got through the half, and we felt kind of okay, except for the fact that we were behind at the half, and anytime I was behind at the half, I think about Thomas Grant, because Thomas has got all these stats about who did what, when, and how many games, that many years, and how many games we won when we were behind at the half. And I knew that was not a good stat for us, because Thomas had already told me, said, hey, when you're behind at the half, you won't get beat. So now, you might get the halftime word about Hampton and Thomas Grant. I got Hampton over here. I got Thomas Grant over there. It was one of those kind of deals where we got back into the half, and the very beginning of the second half, Wiley gets hurt. And, he falls on his elbow, and the doctors are back there, they're saying that he's got to come out. I said, no, he can't come out. They said, yeah, you got to come out for a while. I said, well, hell, they ain't got anybody else. I said, we got a problem here. So, Collett had been out most of the week, but he did a little something on Friday, but we ended up getting him back in there for a little bit. He said, but on the bench, the coach would be all right. So I said, okay. So we got him in there, and he started to play pretty good. And, we still weren't getting much done, but we did get it down and get a field goal, and we eventually got a score. But then once we got a score to go up 10-3, then our defense kind of fails us a little bit. We come back there, and they throw the ball out of the middle and get some yardage, and then they run a draw play, and our guys just kind of fall over themselves, and the guy runs for like 50-some-odd yards and scores. So now we are in a dogfight them for real, because it's 10-10 in the middle of the fourth quarter. And, we're at a point where, it's a little bit too tight, too late in the game for us. We get the football back, don't do much with it. They get it back, get it close down to the goal line. But as coach was saying, they go for a field goal is, I guess maybe 20-some-odd yards. And our guys get after pretty good. We call a timeout, kind of ice kick a little bit, kind of mess around a little bit, do whatever we could to make it as long as we could between the time we call that timeout and the time we actually kick the football. And he goes out and he pulls it left. We get it back, we get it down, we score, and we go up 17-10, and then they get it back and we win the game. The ups and downs of where we've been in this short season so far, this is game. We've had 5 games now. We started with a Benedict, and then we had that Clemson Coastal fiasco, and then we come back and play Furman. To be as high as we've been and as low as we've been is a tough deal to deal with, as a football team and as a staff. And, it's hard to stay on an even keel. That's what we got to figure out how to do to a certain point. I thought we might have been a little bit too high, too excited. After the Furman game, we thought we were too far along, and we get in that game, and, we kind of stumped our toe a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how we play against A&T this week, because A&T is really good. Coach Rod Broadway and his staff have got A&T to the point where they're one of the top teams in our league. They probably should have beaten Coastal. But now Coastal probably should have, played better up at A&T. It was game 2 there, and Coastal turned the football over 5 times. And to turn the football over 5 times and still be able to win the football game. There's a tribute to Coastal Carolina, but at the same time, there's also a tribute to A&T, because A&T's caused a lot of fumbles. Their secondary's got 8 interceptions in 5 ball games. So, that's a lot of turnovers that they created, in a short period of time. But, they've beaten everybody else. They're 4-1. They've actually shown themselves to be about as good on both sides of the ball as any team in our league. It's been quite some time. They're leading the nation on both total offense and total defense. And part of it's got to do, they got a little running back, a little boy named something Cohen. He's number 28. He's quick as a hiccup. He's a tough little guy. He's a little bit smaller guy than Will Ford was. We remember him that we had a couple of years ago to clean up in Canada. Well, this guy's the same kind of guy. If he ever gets a little bit of a crack on you, he's gone. So, we got to figure out how to keep that from happening, because He didn't play against Howard this past weekend. And part of the deal was supposedly that he was nicked up a little bit, but we kind of think they might have kind of thought they could do okay against Howard without him. And they've got a couple other guys, the Dez Lawrence kid, number 5 guys we talked about, is a fast guy, the quarterback, the quick kid, when the guy's name quick, you know what that means, he's probably pretty quick. So he's their quarterback, and he does a lot of nice things for them. And then defensively, they got this Devontae Grant kid, who was a teammate of some of our guys at Mountain Creek High School up in the north side of Charlotte, who's a really good linebacker. So those guys have about as strong football team as anybody in our league right now. And of course, Broadway, who used to be Coach Spurrier, the defensive line guy, when Coach Spurrier was at Florida some years ago, does a fantastic job of offensive and defensive line play, both sides. So you got to really be on your P's and Q's to have a chance to get these guys. It'll be interesting, it's in Atlanta this coming Saturday. We think that it'll be a good crowd there. We are looking for a big, our guys are excited about going and playing. We're excited about going back and seeing if we can do this over again. It looks like Collick is probably going to be our guy this week, but now we've got both guys cocked and ready to go. So we're hoping that we can get both of them out there playing good. We'll see. We're excited. I think we're going to play good.